Disney World is pitching their returning dining plan as a major perk for you to add onto your Disney vacation package. But is it really as efficient as Disney claims it to be? Well, if you're not using it skillfully, there are a lot of hidden downsides to the Disney dining plan, so we're here to make sure you know all the secrets to success. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. All right, 2024 is getting ready to throw us a lot of major curveballs that'll impact the way we plan our future Disney World trips from here on out. But one of the biggest changes that you can actually start adding to your future trips right now is the Disney dining plan. Now, the DDP has been MIA since Disney World reopened in 2020, but now it'll be back in full swing for all vacations starting on January 9th, 2024 and onward if you want to add it. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what this plan actually accomplishes, it's an optional add-on to a Disney World vacation package that allows you to prepay for all your meals and snacks at Disney World. Though several versions of the plan have been available over the years, the quick service and standard Disney dining plans will be the only two options to return in 2024, at least initially. Now, I won't get into the different plan breakdowns just yet because that's kind of overwhelming for a video intro, but what I will say is this. There are several folks out there who are immensely excited for the DDP to return. In the past, the Disney dining plan has been super useful for a lot of families. It's convenient and makes it to where you don't have to constantly be thinking about out-of-pocket costs while on vacation. It covers a huge variety of Disney World restaurants, so you don't have to worry about being limited to just one or two dining options in each park. And you can easily maximize the Disney dining plan's value, specifically with the standard plan, by eating at multiple higher-end restaurants that you wouldn't have bothered with otherwise if you'd been paying for each meal individually. But what Disney World won't tell you is that not every group is going to benefit from the Disney dining plan, so you're going to want to be very careful before you spend that dosh to make sure you know how to benefit from this perk. And that's why we're here, to help you make the most of the Disney dollars you're going to spend. So let's take a peek at how the Disney dining plan has caused problems in the past and how you can avoid those and guarantee vacation victory. Okay, first pitfall of the dining plan: flexibility can be compromised and it'll kind of hit you out of left field. For some of y'all, planning out all your sit-down meals for your entire trip 60 days before you head out is thrilling. Like, look at all the cool places you're going to be eating. It's awesome. But for others, all this pre-planning is one of the biggest downfalls of the standard dining plan. When you book a dining plan, you'll be given one table service credit per night of your stay, meaning you can choose one sit-down meal to eat at every single day. But there are some rules around this that you can use to game the system, which I'm going to share with you in just a second. Now, on paper, it sounds nice, but when you're actually in the park and you have to stop everything you're doing to go ahead and eat another big meal for about an hour or so, it can get irritating, especially if you suddenly notice a low wait time for one of your must-do rides, but you can't go do it because you'd risk being a no-show for your dining reservation and then you'll get charged a cancellation fee. It's a hassle. So sure, you could always not make advanced dining reservations before your trip and lean toward those walk-up wait lists and last-minute reservations that you find on the My Disney Experience app, but that just means what restaurants you'll have availability to choose from will be pretty limited. Plus, it still means you're going to have to eventually sit down for an hour or so and eat, because if you don't use your table service credit, you lose it. There's no carrying over to your next trip, and there's no refunds. The credit just simply vanishes, and so does the money you put towards it. Now, this is just the standard plan I'm talking about here. There is another option for you to choose from that tends to be cheaper with less table service stress, and that's the quick service dining plan, which includes 2 quick service restaurant credits per night of your stay, as well as 1 snack credit too, with no advanced dining reservations required. But even though the quick service dining plan definitely offers more flexibility, you're still essentially locked into how you need to dine. Because let's say you do at some point want to dine at a table service restaurant during your trip, like maybe you found last-minute reservations at Be Our Guest Restaurant at Magic Kingdom or Tiffin's at Animal Kingdom, you can't combine quick service credits to suddenly become a single table service credit. So you'll have to pay out of pocket for any additional sit-down meals that you want to do during your trip. And let's not forget, a Disney dining plan can only be purchased if you're buying a Disney vacation package, unless you're an annual pass holder or Disney Vacation Club member, but that's another story for another day. That means you have to purchase the park ticket and park hotel bundle in order to be eligible for the Disney dining plan. So if you wanted to stay somewhere else off property, like a Universal Studios hotel for instance, then you can't purchase the Disney dining plan. You must be staying on Disney property and have that vacation package set in stone in order to buy it. Plus, you can't add it on once you get there. It has to be pre-purchased before your vacation. So here's how to not fall into this forced march of food every day. Take stock of your family's regular dining habits and plan your trip around those. If you usually eat a big meal midday and a smaller meal in the evening, then plan a table service meal for lunch to get out of the heat and into the AC mid-park day. Then do quick service in the evening when it suits you, or vice versa. But remember how I mentioned some rules that will help you game that system? Here's the trick. You can use your dining credits anytime you want during your vacation. You don't have to use one table service credit every day. So if you have a day that you're rope dropping Hollywood Studios and trying to ride every single ride, but you also have a rest day at the resort pool built into your vacation, then book 2 table service meals on your rest day, maybe a brunch and then a nice dinner, and use 2 quick service meals on your do or die Hollywood Studios day. Make the plan work for you, but plan ahead to make it happen. Okay, next pitfall you might run into with the Disney dining plan, spending more on food than you would have spent otherwise. So here's the thing about the DDP, and even DDP fans could probably agree with this. This plan is more convenience-based than savings-based a lot of the time. For many, the prepaid aspect alone is enough of a bonus to purchase the Disney dining plan. This is your big vacation. Why not splurge a little if you've saved the funds for it? And it's also very, very nice to have prepaid your vacation so you don't get that huge credit card bill at the end of the trip. But the truth is, you can dine cheaper and still dine well in Disney World. So here's a quick breakdown of the Disney dining plan pricing. The standard plan is going to cost you $94.28 per adult per day and $29.69 per child per day. Meanwhile, the quick service dining plan costs $57.01 per adult per day and $23.83 per child per day. Depending on how you dine around the parks, this could set you up for success. But then again, there are so many satisfying meals and snacks around property that can fill you up for less money per day. A few quick examples for you. If you make reservations for the Plaza restaurant in Magic Kingdom, you could just order the Plaza loaded fries appetizer, which serves 2 people, and be completely satisfied for $13. At Spice Road Table in Epcot, if you want to try a few different tapas for a single price, you can get the Spice Road Table sampler for $15. That's going to provide you with lamb kefta, tzatziki, spiced chicken, tiro batakia, which is a tiny cheesy pie. Now in Animal Kingdom, you can make reservations for one of my favorite table service locations of all time, Yak and Yeti, and order something off their shareables portion of the menu. For reals though, if you get the ahi tuna nachos for $22, then you'll be more than satisfied with the quantity of nachos you receive for 2 people, because the portions are massive and you might even be able to split them with a third person and still be content. And in the wonderful realm of quick service locations, Woody's Lunchbox has that grilled 3-cheese sandwich for $10, but you can also order half of it off the kids menu for $7 instead. And the kids menu portion will also give you a Cuties Mandarin Orange, potato barrels, which are tater tots, and your choice of beverage. See what I mean? Good food, lower prices, no Disney dining plan necessary. However, if you do go with the Disney dining plan, then these lower priced foods I'm talking about are not going to be what you make a beeline for. You're going to want to get as many of the highest priced menu items as you can to really make sure you get the best bang for your buck. And we're going to help you out with that. Here are some of the best ways to use your Disney dining plan credits. First, character meals. Character meals in Disney are not cheap, and when you're paying for them out of pocket, you're getting a lot of food and you're also getting a one-on-one meet and greet experience without having to wait in forever long lines for the characters, but it is very pricey. So if you want to stretch out your standard plan dining credits to eat good food and meet fan favorite characters, then you'll want to make advanced dining reservations for these locations to really make the most out of your DDP. Next, steak. If you have some happy carnivores in your traveling crew, this means you'll likely be drawn to ordering some of the priciest items on the restaurant menus. And those pricier items are usually of the steak or seafood variety. So if your family really likes to go all out on those quality beef cuts at each of the restaurants, you won't necessarily have to limit which restaurants you can order a steak at. You can just order them whenever and wherever because you've already paid for them all through the Disney dining plan. Also, seafood. If there's lobster anywhere on the menu, sometimes they'll put it in an enhancements section, which does not get covered by the Disney dining plan, but if you see lobster on the regular menu, that's something to buy too with your DDP. Next is alcoholic beverages. So select alcoholic beverages like wines, beers, and cocktails are included through your Disney dining plan, just one drink. That being said, if you're not old enough to drink, or if you choose not to, lots of non-alcoholic specialty drinks like milkshakes, smoothies, and various mocktails will also be included with your Disney dining plan price. So you have to want to actually take advantage of that perk. Now, we've compiled even more specific suggestions and recommendations for how to spend your Disney dining plan credits in our brand new, very easy to read digital guide that's going to help you break down how you can best get your money's worth out of this returning service, as well as what a realistic day eating around the parks looks like with the Disney dining plan in tow. You can pre-order the DFB Guide to Maximizing the Disney Dining Plan today over at dfbstore.com. Be sure to use the code YouTube for an extra discount on your purchase. At the end of the day, it's a-okay to pay for the Disney dining plan simply to avoid the stress of paying out of pocket at every restaurant. Not that you need my permission. As long as it fits in your budget like a missing puzzle piece and you aren't really bothered whether you save a few bucks or not, perfect. If you're happy, I'm happy. But it's also important to know that sometimes the things that are meant to help you out can just end up stressing you out even more. So decide ahead of your trip what you really want to order or where you really want to dine while you're tasting your way around the parks, and figure out whether the Disney dining plan is going to be a trusty steed for you or just a nuisance. So the next Disney dining plan issue you might run into is that your kid might be considered an adult. So why is 10 the magic number when it comes to the Disney dining plan? Because as is the case with Disney World theme park tickets, anyone who's 10 years old or older is considered an adult on the Disney dining plan. Now, your 10-year-old might have a different appetite, but when I was 10 years old, I was more than satisfied with a Happy Meal from Mickey D's. I didn't really need a full grown-up meal to keep me full. In fact, I think several chain restaurants out there still have their kid menus listed for 12 and under. And when my 10-year-old goes out to a restaurant, it's either he eats everything or he eats one bite, and that's it. So I don't know if you are in the same boat that I am, but you just never know what kid is going to show up that day. So if you're paying for your 10-year-old to be on the Disney dining plan, that means you're potentially paying around $57 or $95 a day just for your kids' food alone, even if they're still only choosing the mac and cheese and chicken tenders off the menu everywhere you go. And here's the real tricky part about that one. The Disney dining plan is an all or nothing ordeal. You either pay for everyone in your group to have it or no one to have it. So you can't pick and choose. Mom and dad are going to get the dining plan and the kids aren't going to get the dining plan. That doesn't work. Everyone in the room has to have the same package. So that's definitely something you want to think about before you book the dining plan for your next trip. How many kids do you have and how many of them are technically adults according to Disney? Next pitfall for the Disney dining plan is the snack credits. Now, this is a pro and a con because I'm never one to turn down a Disney snack, but there is a limit to how much I can stomach in one day or in one trip, and you might feel the same. Each day you'll be given a snack credit to use on any eligible snacks around the park. Now, the snacks that are Disney dining plan eligible will be labeled with that little DDP symbol on the menu. It's a little purple square, looks like a checkerboard. So you don't have to keep guessing what you can and can't order. Usually, snacks on the Disney dining plan are going to be $6 and under. Now, one snack may not seem like too much to handle each day, but when you're eating two rather significant meals a day, adding a snack on top of it can make you feel overstuffed and uncomfortable, especially when you're walking around a hot theme park. Snack credits can also be used on lots of non-alcoholic specialty beverages too, which you might want to choose instead of another food item, but just keep in mind that you're still going to want to find snack items that maximize the money you've already invested in the Disney dining plan, because if all your snack items are going to be like $3.95 or $4.95, then you're going to end up losing money again, because of course Disney's going to price that dining plan at the highest level that snacks can possibly cost you. Now, personally, I think using snack credits on more substantial breakfasty items could help you actually schedule out 3 meals a day and not pay any more than what you're paying for your dining plan. Might be a better use of your credit than forcing another snack break between lunch and dinner. Like Gaston's cinnamon roll from Gaston's Tavern in Magic Kingdom, that's a great breakfast item that's a snack credit, or the Liege waffle at the Connections Eatery in Epcot, another great option for breakfast, or several of the different quiches and croissants from Les Halles Boulangerie Patisserie, also in Epcot. But if pastry isn't your thing, you can also get side orders of things like scrambled eggs or sausage and bacon from places like Contempo Cafe at Disney's Contemporary Resort or the food court locations inside the Value Resorts. Those are all just a snack credit and a great way to use them. Or you might want to still pick up a snack that's rather substantial later on in the afternoon, just to make sure you're stretching your Disney dining plan dollar as much as possible. The Tropical Serenade float at Aloha Isle in Magic Kingdom, for example, that's made with coconut soft serve, passion fruit orange guava juice, and a pineapple cake pop, so it's basically 3 snacks in one. But if you're really struggling to get through all your snack credits before the end of your trip, which, believe it or not, happens more often than you'd think, this is a big concern that people used to have who were on the dining plan is, I've got all these snack credits left and I don't know what to do with them. Well, here's my big word of advice for you. It's better to spend those credits on something rather than nothing. I know, groundbreaking, right? Well, the good thing about Disney dining plan credits is that even if you're provided with a certain amount of credits to spend per day, you can pace out those credits however you want. Remember how we said earlier, you don't have to use all those credits on specific days. You can use them all on the first day if you want to. So if you come to the end of your trip and you still got 4 unused snack credits with you and your family, you can always go to one of the gift shops or bakeries and pick up some of those pre-packaged Disney snacks with your last remaining credit balance. This is a fun thing to do. You can put them in your kids' lunches when you get home. You can give them to the house sitter or the pet sitter. You can give them to your babysitter. You can give them to grandma. Is this the best use of your snack credits? Not usually, because these are going to cost less money than the fresh snacks in the parks. So the prepackaged stuff isn't an awesome money saver or anything, but at least you've used them on something and you'll have some Disney treats to take home with you too. So the goal for the dining plan, you can see there are some pitfalls, there are some issues, but you can easily work around those if you're planning ahead and being smart and skillful about how you're using the dining plan. So all I'm asking is that you think it over first and you decide if it really is the best choice for you and your particular family, the people that you're going with. You know how they eat, you know what they like to eat, you know how many bites your kid takes of his chicken sandwich. For me, it's 1. Anyway, think ahead. Hopefully this helps. But if your answer is no, it's not the best choice, then let me fill you in on a few money-saving tactics that could help you cut a lot when you're paying for meals in Disney out of pocket. First, cover 2 meals during breakfast. For most Disney meals, quick service and table service included, breakfast is going to be the cheaper option than lunch and dinner. But if you plan a sit-down meal for a buffet restaurant like Crystal Palace and Magic Kingdom, try making a reservation for the very end of the breakfast hour, like around 10:45. Not only will you be paying cheaper breakfast prices, but because the buffet spread will switch over to lunch at around 11, you'll be able to dine on breakfast and lunch options during a single meal. So brunch is going to kind of get you 2 meals for a single price, and if you're paying for that breakfast price instead of the lunch price, then you are benefiting. So I always love the idea of doing a nice hearty brunch at Disney because you're going to spend less and it's going to hold you throughout the day. Second tip, take advantage of complimentary Good Neighbor meals. Now, this isn't true for all Good Neighbor hotels that partner with Disney but aren't owned by Disney, but several Good Neighbor hotels still have those continental free breakfasts or free drink coupons, or much like you'll find at Drury Plaza, there's going to be a bonus kickback meal in the evening that'll offer up a rotating menu of dinner time snacks and cold beverages and beer and wine and mixed drinks and whatever. So make sure you do your research on the different hotels available in and around the Disney bubble, aside from just the Disney-owned ones, to see which ones might provide you with, kids eat free or some complimentary meals. You can also bring your snacks from home. If you don't need an over-the-top Disney-themed snack each and every day of your trip, then just pack some snacky items from home or pick them up from a nearby grocery store on your way in. That way, you don't have to overpay for the standard stuff while you're inside the theme parks. We love stuff like granola bars and trail mix, things that aren't going to melt when you're out there in the heat and the sun, and stuff that has a little bit of protein so it's going to keep you going through the day. If you're a beef jerky fan, that's a great option in the parks too. Next, you can find Disney Springs happy hours. So Disney Springs is like a gold mine for happy hours. Depending on when you're browsing around the shopping district, you can run into some super sweet savings at select restaurants and bars. Here are a few examples for you. Haleo features discounted tapas and beverages for select items every day between 4 and 6. Monday through Friday between 12 and 3, Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar has $6 to $7 wine and well drinks and $6 to $7 draft beers and 8 and under appetizers. That's a great deal. And over at STK Orlando, you're going to find happy hour deals daily from 3 to 6 p.m. That'll get you half off specialty cocktails and $2, $5, $7, and $8 food specials. Now, side note, this is just a good time to visit STK in general. We're not huge fans of this place because of the rowdy atmosphere and steep prices, but the happy hour deals make a visit here more worthwhile, especially during the day when you don't quite have the club vibes that you have at night. Okay, so there's the bad news about the Disney dining plan. Those are the pitfalls you're going to run into. But like I said throughout this video, there's definitely ways to work around that. There are definitely ways to get benefit out of it still. So thanks for being here with me today. Make sure to keep checking back in on the DFB channel as 2024 gets closer and closer. We're going to give you the best snack credit deals. We're going to help you see what the best values are for the Disney dining plan. So that's our job here, and we will make sure to deliver. And don't forget to pre-order that DFB guide to maximizing the Disney dining plan. Our team has put a lot of hard work into getting this guide ready for showtime so that you'll not only be able to fully visualize what you're paying for when you tack the DDP onto your vacation package, but also give you that full weight off your shoulders certainty that the choice you make to buy or not to buy is 100% the right choice for you. Just head over to dfbstore.com and pre-order your copy today. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.